What's going on, guys? Mr. Crips UK back again for another video about crypto for beginners. Now, I'm going to be talking about Hashflare.io. They are a cloud mining service which is, to put it easily, you can mine Bitcoin and a couple of other cryptocurrencies with your money. It's pretty much like you're going to be renting a part of hardware that a company obviously has somewhere, and you're renting it, and they're mining Bitcoin, and it will be paid out to you, and then you can do what you wish with. So I'll just talk to you a little about what it is and why it's different from putting money into, say, Binance and buying up some cryptos and leaving it there, watching the portfolio change over time, etc. So, Bitcoin cloud mining. So, as you might know, cloud mining or cloud means obviously not physically with you. So, you can do sort of hardware mining where you might have you build your own mining rig at home or in a unit somewhere, and have the physical hardware, but obviously you've got to pay to buy the stuff. I've got one here at my house. I think it costs over 1,000. It was like £1,200. Multiple graphics cards that you need. You need so much just bits basically to actually do what you need to do, and it also costs electricity. Obviously you've got to have it. It's like a big massive computer. It's got to be on. And it's got to be on all the time, and obviously it's got to use electric, so it's going to cost you. This is obviously not going to cost you, but there are charges incurred. So let's have a little look. So it's a really nice website, just shows you exactly what they do. Obviously it shows you it's instant withdrawals, there's fixed fees. Don't really need to worry too much about that right now. If you really want to go through and how it works and all that, you can click there. I'll talk a little bit more about it as well. So you can do a couple of things. So you can do some Litecoin mining, Bitcoin mining, so different types of mining. It's not every cryptocurrency can be mined. So what you can do is you can jump over to CoinMarketCap, click through into the crypto you're looking for, and actually it will have a little sort of indicator next to the information. But let's just keep it easy and start on these ones. You can do Ethereum, Zcash, and Dash. These are out of stock here. Ethereum's limited, and these are both limited too. It shows you the current price per their minimum amount that you can buy in at down here. But we're going to go ahead and jump to my current account. So this is my account that I've had for maybe since last October or something. And I've been putting little bits in all over time and reinvesting, which is one of the powers of cloud mining. You can reinvest every single day if you have enough money coming through to reinvest the minimum, which is what you can see down here. So we jump straight over. So as you can see, this is my account. It shows you my current Bitcoin balance because I've invested in the SHA-256. And I would suggest if you're going to get involved, that's probably the best one to get involved with. It's just the simplest. Everyone starts with that normally and moves on to the others. But we'll just start there. So this is a little graph. It just shows you what over time what the server, the cloud, my part of the pie has been churning out for me over time. You can go down here. This is if you're looking to reinvest, you can just have a look at how much it costs and what you get for it and all that sort of thing. So that's quite nice just to see what your Bitcoin can buy over time, because as the price changes, you can buy different amounts and so on. So we go down here. It shows me the amount of, this is sort of the amount of computer power that I'm sort of renting from them to mine. So imagine if you've got loads of servers, loads of computers, and I'm taking a little slither of that, and that is working for me, and I'm renting that. It's a 1-year contract, so so 0.01 terahash or the minimum. So yeah, that basically 10 gigahashes, 0.01 terahash is the minimum, and that will be a year. and it will fall off, and the one after that will fall off, and so on and so on and so on. Because where I've got the auto reinvest, I'm taking out a new contract every day for little amounts. So over time, the ones at the back will fall off, and the ones at the front will sort of go on the top. If you can sort of follow me. It shows you the pools. I wouldn't worry about that. You can play around with it. Just chooses where it's looking for your Bitcoin, mining your Bitcoin. But don't worry. Gives you another little bit here. Revenue forecast. It just shows you this changes over time because Bitcoin changes. It's just an interesting little thing. And then you would, if you had other balances down here, it would show you down there as well. But for this example, we're going to say we want to buy $100 and put it into Hashflare, because maybe you think, you know what, the power of reinvesting, I can put $100 in, I can set it to auto reinvest, and yeah, if the price goes down I might lose money, but I'm reinvesting as well, and it should go up over time because I believe in believe in the market. I believe, I wouldn't be getting involved otherwise, and it will automatically reinvest you, and obviously your amount of power down here should be going up over time, even though you're not putting any more money in. So yes, it will fall off at the end once you hit a year at a year's contract sort of ends. But hopefully you've reinvested enough over the year since then to outweigh that and actually compound it. So I can't say, because I can't show you my example because I'm only about, was it 6 months in, 7 months in. So until I actually got to the end point, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Let's say in October, November is when I will start to see sort of the true power of what's been happening. And I do put a little bit in now and then just to top it up, because I do find that it's nice to be able to reinvest daily. So if you are just receiving a little bit less, you're actually waiting 2 days, for example, to reinvest, and maybe you only needed like a tiny bit more in there to be reinvesting daily. So that little extra is actually getting you almost another half a year's faster sort of reinvestments, because you're doing it every 2 days, you do it every 1 day. Okay, so we're going to do an example here of investing $100. I'm going to show you how much it costs, and I'm going to do a calculator to show, will we make money? Because that's the ultimate point. You can see all these fancy numbers, how much Bitcoin you're going to get daily, but you just have no idea what's going on. You could just chuck the money away. Obviously, prices changing all the time with Bitcoin at the moment. So as of now, it is not profitable to use it. But I like to still use it because I have the reinvest feature, and I like to diversify. So I actually have my own mining rig here at home. Like I said, I use Hashflare. I have my own portfolio. I also use a couple of other things that I put little amounts of crypto in, just to try to bolster the end product, what I actually get down the line, rather than just leaving it inside my portfolio. And I think, oh no, what if I just put some money in that, a little bit in that, it's still there, it's still yours, it's just in a couple of places doing some slightly different things based on the same thing. So you would sign in and you would not have any have no information here, you'd have no chart up here, and luckily we've actually got this offer as well, so we can get 22% off, which is great. So they do these every so often. I would say wait, but you don't have to. If you just want to get started, just to see it, put a little bit in. But then every time you want to reinvest, maybe if you actually reinvest physical money, so you want to put money in, just wait, because these every month, so on, so forth, they do this. So we can go to buy here. We're going to click buy, and I'm going to choose the top one because that's what I'm investing in. Oh, it's already here anyway. And we'll look at $100. So you can see here it's going up, and it gives you, roughly what's $100 would be there around here. But we've got a discount code, as we said up here. I had a little quick look. I think it was something around this. But what you can do is you can go roughly to the amount, proceed, type in the redeem code right here. It will obviously take it all off for you, and you can see so it's pretty much $100, just a little less, $100. So for this example, I'll also show you the calculator using 1,600 gigahash or 1.6 terahashes to show you what actually happens with it all. It's really interesting when I actually delve down into the details what this shows you. But it's still a great video. even though you should be investing in Hashflare at this very moment. So you would select the payment. You would pay with Bitcoin, and you could send your Bitcoin here. You can do credit, debit card, but I found it's easier to send Bitcoin to here than to do this because there's a lot of verification you've got to do to set up stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you can do balance if you've got balance from your reinvestments. So, and you would do that. So we can see you're getting 1.6 terahashes for $100. Is what you get. You select that, and then as of tomorrow, it would actually appear on your account. So if you came back here straight away, it would actually not show anything. So this is almost like yesterday's data, because I haven't paid for it. It appears here, but that will just disappear after 24 hours or something. So we obviously want to calculate if it's profitable, because what happens with this is because we're cloud mining, there are charges against our revenue. So revenue is down here, but you do not actually get this. You have to take off maintenance, because obviously we don't have to pay any power, like rental storage fees, like when it could be in a massive warehouse. So they charge us, which is fair enough, because we don't have to go and spend £1,200 like I have to make my own. Spend 10 hours making it and trying to get it work, pay the electricity bills. It's so much more hands off. So of course it's a fee. And the way you can do your fee is you can go to history. Once you've had your account for a little bit of time, you'll be able to see where the charges are coming from. You can go to the right at the bottom, and you can look at what my payout is or was today, and the maintenance. So you can see payout is here, and then maintenance is here. It's very easy. Payout, maintenance, amounts. And actually what's also included in this maintenance, I believe, are electricity fees at set price. So basically what you'll find is that maintenance fees and this little electricity fee of this very small amount for that are fixed. Because if you have, I'm paying electricity here for my unit, for my one I made, my electricity does not double if Bitcoin goes down. So it's the same. So I'm actually mining less monetary value of Bitcoin for the same amount of electricity, and I'm getting the same amount of Bitcoin. But I'm actually mining, but the value I'm getting is less. So by having the maintenance fee not going down with Bitcoin going down and not going up with Bitcoin going up, this is where it becomes not profitable right now. Because if you've got a fixed cost, and you have, a product becomes almost, you have to sell it for half its value. The fixed cost will not go down with it. It will just stay, and that's where I will then now show you why it isn't profitable. So we can go across to a calculator and type this in and find out if it's not profitable, when will it be profitable? Because when I started looking into this, I really thought, okay, I would love to know when roughly I would either like to start investing more, because I've recently just kept the auto reinvest and put in very small amounts. I mean, like really tiny, $50 a month, not even that, just to tick it up if I've maybe just wanted to put in a little bit every single month over time or something. But looking at this now, I'm going to just leave it until the price is around what I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, I mean, obviously their maintenance might change, the electricity might change, fees change all the time, or the current price, you've got to be careful. So obviously this price changes. So obviously it was 62 cents we got it for because we had the discount. So that discount isn't forever. So if you're investing at 80 cents, you're going to have to slightly work it out at a higher cost, or reduce. You're going to spend more, or basically get less terahashes or space that you're mining. So you've got to take into consideration those sort of things. So we'll go ahead to coinwars.com, and you can go through. They have proper calculators for lots of different cryptocurrencies, but we want to obviously mine Bitcoin. So the hash rate here is what we purchased. So if we jump back over to here, we can see, just to take it a little slower so everyone understands, we wanted to purchase this. So we wanted to purchase 1.6 terahashes, and what you can do is, if you just want to double check what that is in gigahashes because you're not sure, if you go ahead, you get the hang of the website once in a while. Yeah, so you can see here it says 0 gigahashes. So you go up, you can clearly see it's getting to 990, and then it trips over. And we went to the 1.6 mark, didn't we? That was about the $100. So we know it's 1.6. So we're going to put in 1,600, which is the same as 1.6 terahashes. Perfect. Now the power cost is 0 because we don't actually have any electricity costs ourselves, is what it is. Because obviously that's the whole point of the cloud mining. So if you have a unit at home, some sort of mining facility, or just a little setup, you type in your cost here and help. The next thing we look at is the hardware, which is the cost we paid for the 1,600, which was just under 100, but we put 100. This is the current Bitcoin to dollar price. Just leave that. Leave the difficulty. Leave the block reward. So you just need to make sure that you leave them. Hardware cost is quite easy. Hash rate is quite easy. This, just to double check, I'll do that. And then you come to pool fees. Now this will be basically the maintenance cost attributed to what they're charging you for the service, I guess. And all the fees. So, as mentioned before, you can go through to your history, like so. Scroll to the bottom and find this, which is just under log. So it's literally the very bottom section. You can find the most recent one, and you can see that you just want to find out, this is the maintenance, this is what you got. You want to know what the difference is because that's obviously what you received to your account. So the difference is what you received to your account. And you need to know the percentage of what this is against this. So the way I work it out, I take the payout, and it's easy obviously for a calculator at this point. You take this to start with, so you do 100 in a calculator. You can do the 100 divided by that number, 0.0000. What I'll actually do, instead of me doing it manually, I'll pop up this because that'll be easier. Right, so this way. So we do 100 divided by 0.1234697 equals this number. But then timesing it by the maintenance cost, which is the top number. Yeah, you guessed it. The percentage fees for the pool is 85%. That is the number, or the quantity, or the value, or whatever you want to call it, that they are taking in fees. Now, when I saw this number on this example, I was very, well, yeah, it was just a bit confusing. So anyway, I'll show you what this creates. So if you purchase this today, and Bitcoin stay at this value for a year, well, you'd basically be losing money because it would take you 950 days to break even, which is pretty nice. That's like 3 years, isn't it? Well, yeah, a bit less, but 2.5 years, considering each contract's a year. So I mean, it says, I don't even know what this is. As soon as I saw this is what you want to be looking at, days to break even. This is the sort of, the main thing that is going to decide what you do. That number there, or the days. So I started looking into this and wondering why the pool fees were at this number, because I wanted to figure out at what point now do I invest more. So now that I'm doing this, I'm actually going to just sit my reinvest on because I'm still going to compound, still going to build up more terahashes because I believe that this actual Bitcoin price will increase. So if this can get to 15,000 to 20,000 and I have even more terahashes or computer power in 6 months because of my reinvestment, I'll actually be making far more profit at that point because I kept the reinvest on and not siphoned off money, having to then sort of jump back in and when it's almost too late, because as soon as everyone's jumping back in, the prices for Hashflare here usually go up because obviously it's more profitable. So I'm getting in at almost the cheapest point, even though it's losing me money. And this is no way financial advice because that just sounds foolish what I've just said, but you sort of understand what I mean. So obviously decide what you want to do on your own and go from there, because I'm just going off my own view. So I then looked into it and I was thinking, okay, why is it so high? Because it actually never used to be 85%. But what happens, I figured out, is that the fees, so imagine this was £5. £5 per 1,600 terahash. Well, if Bitcoin price doubles and this pool fee stayed the same, because they're not changing, they're going to be the same, they're fixed. So £5 or 85%. If Bitcoin doubles, nothing else changes, just the price of Bitcoin. You can see you've just halved your break even, because the fixed cost is what is bringing it to be not profitable, because it doesn't cost more for them to actually feed electricity to what we're doing, this whole thing, to create our Bitcoin. It's not going to cost any more money. So it's only going to be changed by the percentage, by the Bitcoin price. But because the pool fees are 85% of our total return, our return actually increases as Bitcoin price goes up. So our value of the same amount of terahashes becomes double the value. So the pool fees actually become only half of a percent, because this percentage is based off our return, so it's linked to it. So if we, this is where it gets really complicated. So basically, the simplest way to think of it is this is fixed and is a percentage of our return, not anything else. So if our return doubles and this stays the same, it wouldn't be 85% of our doubling value. It would actually be only 25%. So basically this would actually half. That's just the easiest way to say it. Otherwise I'll actually make it more confusing. So obviously 85 divided by 2. Always make sure you use a calculator. I shouldn't do, but I do. So we're doing that. 42.5. Let's just say it's 43, just because I'd rather be a bit too heavy-handed. And our Bitcoin price doubles. Nothing else changes. We still have this in our system. Say that's as long as you still buy it, that's right. If it costs you more money, you've got to obviously amend in that. You click calculate, and what you see down here is days to break even is 125 days. So if you could get this offer right now today, so all that change is now Bitcoin literally jumps 50%, 80%, whatever it needs to get to this number tonight. Everything stays the same, like the price to buy. This is actually showing you now that you can almost triple your money by the end of your year, and that's not including compounding as well. So then I wanted to see, okay, so what's the break-even point? At what point is it not profitable but not losing me money? But I actually see it as a safe entry point, because if I enter at that point and it is at 15,000 and it's been, we've been tracking the market for the next 6 months and we know it's doing well, and we see it pushing over 20 to 25 in the next year, maybe entering a little earlier when you're not making money is going to create you more wealth long term. So we had 85% here. Let's just change it back so we can start from the beginning. Well, let's say it wasn't doubled, it was 10 grand. So it went to 10. So basically 25% more. So we obviously need to adjust the pool fees because it wouldn't be 85 anymore. We get around the 64, give or take. I punch calculate. 300 days. So you can sort of see now that the entry point for me would be around, if you want to be safe, let's say 300 days, because you might need to pay a little bit more costs if it changes, because I don't see it being 62. It could even go up more, so you might want to adjust this to maybe 10,500 or 9,500 depending on what you're buying. But this is sort of what I would say is a safe break-even point, just with a little margin on the side of the sort of 65 days, 68 days, or whatever it is, for the year, because obviously each of these contracts are 1 year. That's what you got to know, obviously remember. So it's not like they're forever and you're like, oh yeah, after a year I'll break even and I can make money forever, but because I've got, after a year it's gone, you know, you don't make any money off it. So from what I can see here, I can see that this Bitcoin needs to be about 10,000, and I would say about, you know, if you want to get it a bit more accurate, 9,800, 9,500 even possibly, as long as the price was cheap enough that you're buying your original sort of contract at. To me, that would be perfect. So for beginners, 10,000, very simple to remember. If it's at 10,000, as long as it hasn't spiked to 10,000, because obviously at the moment it's been going up and down, it's not spiked to 10,000, you know, don't get in that second, yeah, I've got to get in now. Let it sort of just gradually go back and forth, just rock. Because at the moment it's just rocking. Just rock up, rock up, rock up. So by the end of the year it's at about 20,000. Personally, I believe it could be 24, just a little over. No real reason. I just think it might be 20, just 22, 24, so just a little over what its all-time highs was last December. But yeah, for this, 10,000 is sort of like my rough estimate of what I would be looking to get involved in again. So when it gets to about this again, and I can see that it's been going, it's maybe stable around this price, I'll be looking to put more in and definitely reinvesting everything I've got into more contracts. Because as long as then if the price goes to 20, then you're laughing, because you don't really need to be making profit for that long for it to pay itself almost, you know, straight away. Again, no financial advice by me. I'm just saying what I can see, but from that, hopefully it gives you a little bit of an understanding. It's of course a lot more complex than buying some Bitcoin on Coinbase, but you sort of get the gist of what I'm trying to show you here. There's another avenue that you can look at with cryptocurrencies and getting involved, rather than just buying some cryptocurrencies on Binance and leaving them there, or watching the markets and nothing's happening for 2-3 months. And you know, with this, as long as you're in the right zone, you sort of know it's building on itself. So it's irrelevant what's really happening behind the scenes too much, because for me it's compounding, which you just can't do anything else. So yeah, hopefully you like the video. Yes, it was a little bit more advanced. You may have to watch it back a handful of times, but diversifying your portfolio and different things you're doing is the way forward. And if any one of them doesn't work how you thought it was, you've got the others. And do your research beforehand. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. So smash a thumbs up, comment anything that was a bit confusing or you want me to clarify, or you know, all that jazz. Subscribe, yeah, and I'll bring you another video tomorrow. Cheers.